And today we're going to be talking to somebody that I've wanted to interview for a while. She's a filmmaker. Her name is Lali Amante, and I enjoy her YouTube content. And yeah, let's talk to Lali. I think you'll enjoy meeting her. Hey everybody, so this is Lali Amante. How's it going, Lali?
Hi everybody, I'm good. I'm having a great time. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And where are you originally from, Lali?
So I am born and raised in the Philippines, and I left Philippines when I was 30 years old. I moved in Europe, and then now in America. Yes. So.
Yeah, so you, where were you born?
In Laguna. It's 2 hours away from Manila, the main island.
Laguna.
Yes.
And you had a challenging childhood, from what you've described.
It was dark and painful because the influence of the Roman Catholic. I'm a different. They may call growing up not a normal kid, So yeah, it was dark, painful, and traumatic.
And being in that kind of religious environment, you realized very early on in life that you were a little different, correct?
Until people in my family treating me differently. Like when I was young, I was like, I thought everything was normal, like a normal kid playing. And then when my dad was not looking around, I can free whoever I am. But growing up in the Philippines, and once you behave like not on a religion norm seen by the people, like growing up in a country with strong influence of a Roman Catholic, the machismo, my father cannot accept that his young boy is behaving differently.
Mm-hmm.
He caught me putting towel on my hair, and I'm telling to my mom, like, this is my hair, and my dad would call me like, you're son of the devil. You're not my son. You're an evil. So, but yeah, I was thinking, why would they treat me like that in a family that I should feel safe? I was physically abused, verbally abused, and there were more things that I want to keep it for myself. And so at the age of 15, I decided to leave work far from, like, I work for fast food, and I never go back.
So at 15 years old, you left your family situation and moved on in life?
Yeah, I moved on in life. While studying my college, I was working in fast food, and then I became an agency manager for a bank, and then I left the country.
You tell me when you were younger, that was just natural for you. You had these, like you just were somebody else, and there was nothing you could do about it. But what a challenge that must have been. And what was your interest when you decided to go to college? What were you studying?
Oh, I was studying computer engineering, which I'm not using now.
Yeah.
I love art. I love everything about art. I love everything about storytelling. But you know what, Elvis? These experiences when I was young, childhood, until growing up, there was no word bullying that time yet. It's just like people will just, slap your face or your head for being so-called different, up to high school. Like they will hurt me, I will go back home, and then because I know myself, I'm soft, I'm feminine, but I have to hid myself into a heterosexual man acting to protect myself. So I learned that when I was in high school. There was three classmates of mine calling me, yeah, you F word. I don't know if I can say the word faggot. And then, yeah, I was fighting for my life. Three guys punching me. So one day I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fight with them physically. And I went home with all my one and only piece uniform that I wash every night so I can use it the next day. But it's, you know, it's everything is, it's dirty. It's, how do they call that? Broken buttons and everything. So my mom got mad at me, and then my dad was like, "What happened?" "Oh, I had a fight with this," and like, "Oh, because you're gay, you cannot defend yourself." La la la. You know that machismo thing that when you're born a boy, you should behave as one, but it was very very hard. Growing up, and then when I left the country, Europe is very open-minded, and they accept you for who you are. That's when I started to transition to become a trans woman, and 10 years, 15 years back, here I am.
Where did you go to in Europe first?
I did Paris, and then after 6 months, I moved in Barcelona.
Oh, so you speak Spanish as well.
Claro que sí, un poco, un poco.
Entonces podemos hablar en español.
Claro que sí,
Yeah.
claro que sí.
Well, that's neat. And you speak Tagalog, of course,
Tagalog.
which is very similar to Spanish in a lot of ways, I think.
Right.
At least the word ventana is a window in Spanish and Tagalog.
Claro.
When you were in Europe, you started making the transition
Yeah,
to your true self.
When I traveled in Europe, I was not transitioning yet. I still, as a male presenting person, like a gay man. And then after a year, 2 years of living there, I saw the beauty of the world. I saw the freedom. I saw that, wow, I can be who I am in this country. Where when I was growing up, I had a battle with my family, with my classmates, with my friends, and now here I am. I can be who I am. So it's slowly, and then there's also an issue. I cannot transition yet. I know deep inside my heart that I was born in the wrong body, and I cannot transition yet because you know why. So my father passed away 10 years the time I moved to Barcelona. But I still have my mom. And my mom, I don't want to, how should I say this? She can accept a gay guy son, but not her son turning into a woman. The concept of transitioning from male to female for her is too much to understand.
Right.
So, and I love her so much. She's the reason why I left the country, gave her a good life. We travel all over Asia. But like, for her to understand that, hey, your young boy is now a woman, that's kind of hard for her to understand and comprehend. So I waited. I didn't wait. I don't want her to die, okay? So,
Right.
But when she passed, that's the time that, okay, it's about me.
I kind of understand, and it may not be right, but my little girl, my daughter, both my daughters, they'll always be my little girls. And if they were to say, I want to be a man, it definitely would be a challenge,
That's not the word actually. They will tell you, Dad, I'm a man. You don't.
It is what it is.
You don't
right?
want it. You don't like me. I don't want to be a woman. I feel I'm a woman.
Right.
So yeah, that's hard, especially. But you're in America. You're open-minded. You're exposed to everybody, especially on your band, traveling. You see different types of people. But my mom, living in a province, never had education, just raising all her kids
Yeah.
from a machismo guy.
But to me, if a person wants to make that transition, it must be real, because there's so much cultural backlash that people get. And I respect anybody that wants to be who they really are.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you for
Yeah.
feeling that way.
Yeah.
I've been a closeted trans woman for a long time, and this after Dysphoria, my film, this is actually my first ever interview about being a trans woman, and I I don't care anymore what other people will say. Yeah.
So Lali, what is it that you love about Slab City? Is there anything in particular? Because it's a real interesting place, that's for sure.
So, right, when I was young, as I mentioned, I've been fighting for my freedom, right, from my family, from people back in the Philippines. When you go, Slab City have this special place in my heart. You know, when you go here, you can be who you are. Not those things that you saw on social media that, you know, I can do drugs here, I can be a meth addict, whatever. What I'm trying to say is you can go in Slab City, dress as a woman and having a voice of a man. Or you can go here, show your talent, and people doesn't really care. Doesn't really care. And also, every human being, every person that I met here have different beautiful stories. It's not just for my viewers to learn something from them, but it's also me as a person. Sometimes I don't want to film here. I just want to experience it personally, me. But I have to share a story to the world. So that's one I love about being here. Last June, I visited here. I created a docu-series. And when I got back home, I had a separation anxiety. It's like being disconnected to the outside world. And we have our own world here. And once you come here and you show respect to people, they will treat you nicely. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and aside from that, seeing the artists, like how beautiful the arts they do, I cannot see that in any part of the.
Nope.
Yeah.
I see why they call it Babylon on the outside world, because it's so night and day difference from living in the regular world that most of us live in.
Yeah, and also I love being a filmmaker. I love sharing raw and unfiltered stories of people. You know, no sugarcoating, no anything. I don't know. I got guys. I got some comments, you guys, about, you know, poverty porn or Slab City's garbage. Come check it out. Come try to check it out for yourself. Have an open mind. It's easy to say that. It's easy to comment. Be nice, guys. Yeah. That's what I love about being here.
Awesome.
Sharing those stories. Thank you.
Thanks, Lali.
Before my YouTube channel, I was like, my voice was like, hello. Hi, how are you? But now this is my speaking voice. I don't care anymore because nobody pays my bills. Nobody, you know, feed me. So yeah, I think embracing your truth is no one can take that away from you. So
And you're also, like you mentioned, you did a film. You're a filmmaker.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I watched your film Dysphoria last night. I enjoyed it. But yeah,
Thank you.
how long have you been a filmmaker?
So ever since I was, not to brag, not to boast, when I was in college, despite of all those traumatic experience in high school and college, I've been a storyteller. But you know, growing up in the Philippines, being a filmmaker or being in the film industry is only for rich people, rich kids. You know, but you know in your blood that you're a storyteller. So I just put that inside myself. And then when I moved in New York, where another city that you can be free and be who you are, that's during the pandemic, the lockdown and everything, I thought the world will end. I thought I'm gonna die. So I'm like, you know what? I've been hiding as a trans woman, but the world will end. Why not start to share my story?
Yeah.
How? I don't know. So that's when I wrote the script of dysphoria, and I don't even know how to direct a film. So like I went on a filmmakers group, I did acting classes, the New York School for Acting and for School for Acting in TV and Film. I got acting coaches, and then the directors were like, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, his name, by the way, is Mark Asovsky, brilliant director, and is a very good friend of mine. I'm like, how can he tell the story of a trans woman, but he's a straight guy director? But the moment we had a conversation, he knew every bit of my story. And the one you watch, it's a beautiful. Everybody was broke financially that time, so the film you watched is basically a collaboration of talents. Less than 10,000 budget or less than 5,000 budget on that, and yeah, it went on film festivals and everything. And from then on, being an actor, being an actress, or into filmmaking, the projects are very few and far in betweens, right? So yeah, I'm like, what should I do? What can I do? So I write scripts also. I'm an actress. I'm supposed to direct Viajera, which is my first feature film, but there's no budget coming in. So I'm like, what should I do for now? Storytelling, which is the YouTube channel, telling the story of other people. And that's when I was watching your YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Slab City.
Yeah, the film you made is it's very raw, and I found the beginning of it with sort of showing the insults that people will throw at an individual going through that. It was very raw but very good. A short film, but I really, really enjoyed it. But you know what, you were talking about being who you are, and I liken it to where we are right now, Slab City, where you can come and you can finally be that person that you have always wanted to be without ridicule and without apologizing for anything. And you've turned out to be a beautiful young lady, and I've enjoyed talking to you. Is there any advice that you could give to somebody that might be struggling with this right now, who feels that they may have been born in a different body, and how any words of encouragement or advice that you could give to somebody?
You know what? My advice is not for people like me, LGBTQ family. My advice is to the parents, to the family, to the relatives, to the friends. We are normal human being like you guys. It's just that, yeah, we have the same dreams. We can tell a story, we can sing, we can dance. So we're the same. It's just that the gender expression, so my advice to the families, to relatives, to friends, that be more, not accepting, but like give some love for humanity. It's like we are not, it's not like we don't want to force you to accept us, but also just a little tolerance, if I may say, because accepting it's a little hard pill to swallow. Like, as we were talking, like, oh, my son is now a woman, or my daughter now is a man. That's a very hard pill to swallow. And it's about love, loving your relatives, your family, people, loving them. As long as they don't hurt you, they don't bother you, just let them be. It's a beautiful world to have full of hate and anger. We love is easy to give. Love is universal. And going back to my advice to trans women or LGBTQ, it's not about being brave or hey, this is who I am, I want to show to the world, and be careless. If you feel like you're a woman, act like one. Act like one. There's so many trans women. Sorry, sisters, don't get mad at me. But there's so many sisters now that they only took 1 week of hormonal replacement therapy and they are so entitled already. Did you call me, sir? Where's your manager? It's not like that. If you feel like that this person didn't see you the way you wanted to present yourself, if they call you sir, that won't kill you, you know? You just, if you can feel it, you're gonna say like, Madam, I'm really sorry. I just started my transition, but by the way, I feel like a woman right now. Look, I have beautiful dress, I have makeup. Girls, please, educate people. Don't hate them. Because like my mom, look at my mom. I waited for her to, I wait until I can be totally free. But like getting mad to people. Did you call me, sir? The entitlement, because people won't understand that if we want that entitlement. It's a never-ending argument. So be nice to people, girls. If you're just transition. Oh, by the way, and if you want to be free, be who you are, make sure you do the transition with proper medical help. With the endocrinologist, the doctors, your mental state, and also when you do the SRS, there's a lot of procedures like an examination. But in general, girls, my advice, I love you, girls, and be who you are, be free, get your freedom, but in a nice way, because we need to. It's not all about us, okay? It's not all about us. Same with other relatives. So I think I talk too much.
No, not at all. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, Lali, how do they go about doing that?
I'm on YouTube where I met Elvis. It's Lali Amante. It's Lally Amante. Amante.
We'll
That's
put a
my
link
YouTube.
down below as well.
Oh, thank you. And then my Instagram is Lali Amante Official. Facebook is Layla Amante.
Well, thank you so much, Lali. It's been a real pleasure interviewing you and spending this weekend exploring Slab City.
Thank you.
It's been so neat.
This place is very special.
It is.
Very special. It's so magical. I experienced a lot of great things here that I know I couldn't experience outside of Slab City. Thank you,
You've
Elvis.
seen people that have been themselves, which is just amazing to me.
And I can't wait to see more. Thank you for showing me around.
Well, we'll go see
I
some more.
appreciate you. Yes.
But thank you so much, Lali.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
Look
you.
forward to watching more content on your channel.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, guys.